Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your reading for January the 2nd through January the 15th, 2024. Now, those of you who follow this channel will notice that this is another 2-week reading. So that's because I am traveling, and right now, at the moment, I'm not traveling, but I am working on doing these now because I want to make sure I have everything up so that, and I will go back to doing weekly readings when I'm back from traveling. So in the meantime, I am just... I'm in the process of traveling, so I will get back to doing weekly readings when I get to that point. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. It's good to have you here. If you find that these readings resonate with you, then please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving me a comment. And if you are returning to this channel, welcome back. It's good to have you back again. This is a reading for you if you are a Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, or have some other significant Cancer placement in your chart. I did want to mention those of you who have been donating to me via my PayPal link. Thank you so much. Your donations are very much appreciated. Obviously, people who watch these channels are in no way obliged to donate. However, if people are interested in leaving a donation, I do have a PayPal link to my Chthonia channel in the description box. Chthonia is kind of my main primary company, I guess you could say, or primary business gig, and then this is a subset of that I'm doing here with Liminal Tarot. This is Chthonia is a podcast about, it talks about what I call the dark feminine, but it's exploring these kinds of issues about femininity, both in men and women that are in shadow, and the kind of work that I do with my business, which is called Transition Life Coaching, which used to be called Liminal Reiki, and as you know, this channel is called Liminal Tarot. This is all looking about being on the boundary, about being between states and maybe not knowing, knowing you've left something behind and not knowing where you're going. So I do a special type of coaching that deals specifically with that, to kind of show you where you're at, where you're coming from, where you're at, what the whole backdrop is through astrology. So I do Western astrological charts, Vedic astrological charts, human design charts, which combine astrology with a bunch of other things. And also I will do tarot and oracle readings as part of my initial big reading that I do for somebody, and also I will offer distance Reiki therapy for people as well to try to do some energy balancing as well. So it's a very unique approach. If you're interested in knowing more about my approach to this, and then of course any subsequent follow-up sessions are not as expensive as the first main one, but we do kind of do hourly things to try to figure out what you need to do to take the steps that you need to integrate your new experience and to move forward. So that's at theliminalreiki.com. That link is also in the description box below. So just wanted to get that out there. Okay, if you're new to these readings, the way that I do them is I do them by astrological house. So the meanings of the cards will be interpreted in terms of the astrological house that they fall in. And I always start with my Egyptian system, which is the Way of Cartouche, which is my favorite deck to use. And then I clarify with tarot. And this week I am using the Barbara Walker Tarot. So that's what I'm using, and then I will end with an oracle reading with the Norse runes. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. The first house is Aries and Aries energy. This is about you, your personality, and how you present yourself to the world. So Cancer, you've got Prince of Cups with the Sphinx. Now, Prince of Cups, that's invitational energy. Prince of Cups is like the Knight of Cups. So there's this idea of you, of opportunities, being inviting opportunities, but you have it with the Sphinx energy, which is also this energy of keeping something to yourself, being secret. So there's almost this tension here between being open and being keeping to yourself. I feel like this is a situation where maybe you need to wait for certain opportunities and maybe not, maybe reserve judgment or sit back. It's interesting because I'm looking straight across and I'm seeing you have Urias in the 7th house. Now, these two cards are quite similar in their meaning. I mean, Urias is more about unexpected things that you're not seeing that just kind of suddenly show up. This is more about things that are being kept secret. In both cases, you're dealing with secrecy in the house of not only yourself, but of your relationships. So, yeah, it seems like there's some things that you're waiting on here. And I feel like this may mean in combination that you want to wait for a particular opportunity. Like you want to remain open to something, even though right now you may be keeping to yourself and not moving ahead. Second house is financial. This is Taurus energy. So it's money, possessions, your values, things like that. And yeah, this is funny because Gemini got the same thing. You have the Seth card, so this can indicate difficulties, financial difficulties or obstacles of some kind, or anxiety about money. And you have it with Osiris. So this actually tells me that your money situation is actually stable. I mean, stable, of course, doesn't necessarily mean growing, okay? So you just may be in a situation where you are, where things, things aren't, okay, things may not be where you want them to be right now, but they're also, you're not in danger of, say, losing a home or something like that. Like it's stable. At least you're in a secure spot, is what this is saying. Now you have it with the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups to me says, yeah, there's a lot of emotion around this. There's a lot of emotion around money. There's also this idea of receptivity. So I feel like, and it's funny because you have the Prince of Cups here, and then you have the Queen of Cups here. I feel like you're in this stage of being very intuitive or being very receptive. And I feel like your intuitive energy is what's going to tell you how to solve this problem. For some of you, this could literally be a female who is either a water sign, which would be like yourself, it would be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Doesn't have to be. Could be a woman, doesn't even have to be a woman. It's a queen, but gender doesn't always matter with these. So this could be a person who comes in and shows you how to solve this problem. Or this could just be telling you to rely on your own inner voice and receptivity here. Follow your heart rather than your head with regard to this in your case. Third house is Gemini energy, so this is communication, travel, short-term travel. If you're self-employed, this would be about your own business. It could have to do with brothers and sisters, so sibling energy and relationships. And it's just communication generally. And wow, we've got Anubis with the 9 of Cups. So we've got 2 9s here, because Anubis is a number 9, and this is the 9 of Cups. So this is great, because this is almost like a message coming in with a kind of wish fulfillment here. The 9 of Cups is some kind of message that's going to make you happy. It is going to be a message that this could be about a trip, because when Anubis shows up in a travel house, the 3rd or the 9th, this generally does mean that you may be traveling somewhere. And wherever you're traveling, it does seem like the good fortune is going to come from that, okay? Because Anubis is also a card of protection. So again, when I'm looking back over here with the problem in the 2nd house, I feel like Anubis may be saying, again, like the Osiris card, that you are protected from something. Or that you're able to navigate a difficult situation. And the fact that I'm seeing it with the 9 of Cups here, I don't know. This to me is something that may happen potentially in 9 cups to me are days, so potentially 9 days, something that's going to come in or something that's going to solve things. Take it as it resonates. That number does not have to be valid, but the 9 is interesting. So you might want to note if something happens in 9 days, 9 weeks, on the 9th day of something. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes when these cards show up in that kind of combination, I feel like they're relevant. So I'm just going to mention it here. 4th house is Cancer energy. So this is your home, your family, your sense of personal security, and also potentially the mother. So we've got the 3 of Wands with Pyramid. Okay, so we've got the Norns here with the Fates. This is, okay, so 3 of Wands is a card of sending energy out and seeing what comes back to you. Okay. And I feel like you may be looking outward, looking to expand your boundaries, possibly even looking to move with the 3 of Wands. Because even though this is showing the Norns here, in other versions of this card, it shows a person standing on the shore, like looking out at the ships, like either waiting for a ship to come in or looking, considering going out. So there may be a test situation here. There could be a test situation with family, maybe with regard to whether or not you're going to move or do something, or even maybe with a parent. But there's definitely this sense that maybe what you're being challenged to do is expand your horizons, to put energy out for what you want to manifest and see what comes back to you. So take it as it resonates, whether this has to do with your home situation and your security or your family. But that's what's coming up there. There definitely seems to be some kind of a test situation here. Okay, 5th house is Leo energy, and Leo has to do with creativity, children, with love affairs, and again, obviously not all 3. This is a general reading, so I'm covering all territory. Okay, so you've got Lotus with Judgment. So Judgment has to do with somebody making a decision about something, like waking up to something and someone making a decision. Sorry, I'm going to cover these because some people black out human naughty bits or body parts on the cards, and I don't tend to do that. So I do have to kind of cover up the card because some of them are rather gratuitous with that. So so Judgment here has to do with yeah, there's an awakening to something. So this is either a situation, this either has to do with a creative project, maybe there's going to be an aha moment. This could have to do with a love affair. This could be somebody who's making a decision, maybe somebody deciding to get involved, to not get involved. Or there could be decisions surrounding a children. Whatever this is, there's something that has produced some kind of, Lotus would indicate there's been some kind of anxiety around it. And so that it's basically saying, don't worry, a judgment, somebody's going to wake up and a judgment's going to be made soon. Okay, so whether you're the one making the judgment or somebody else is, there's definitely a sense that some situation that maybe has got you a bit worried is coming to an end. Okay, 6th house, this is health. Has to do with worry, mental anxiety, sometimes with the jobs and employment, and also domestic animals, potentially. This is the house of Virgo. And you have the 7 of Cups with water. Okay, so I feel like in the job area, I mean, yeah, somebody could be changing jobs or thinking about changing jobs. 7 of Cups almost indicates too many options or, too many things that maybe seem illusory. It's like, oh, okay, there's all these possibilities, and some of them are real and some of them are not. Okay, because this is the card they call of the dream. So yeah, there's a lot of going on here. There could even be some escapism from worry with this, with the way that this is set up. And again, for some of you, this may be looking at possibilities in terms of changing a job. So I don't know. Take it as it resonates. If it's a health matter, a lot of times, yeah, there could be some confusion about that as well. In particularly in health issues, I always feel like water may literally mean you need to drink more water, or perhaps you need to calm the mind by getting close to water. Again, I'm not here to diagnose anyone or any situation. This is just some sort of very, very general, vague kind of advice with regard to that. So you take that as it resonates. But yeah, there's definitely a feeling here that you may be floating through something here, and you may not really be sure where you're going to end up with this card. So yeah, I'm seeing that. That's why I'm seeing this energy of waiting here, I think. Waiting to see what kind of invitations or opportunities are going to come. Now, you are a water sign, but there's a lot of water in this reading so far. We've got the Prince of Cups, we've got the Queen of Cups, we've got the 9 of Cups, and now we've got the 7 of Cups plus actual water. So, yeah, so this is definitely seems to be a strongly emotional period of time so far with regard to the material that we're seeing so far. And we have another cup over here in the 7th house, which is the house of Libra energy. So Libra is about relationship. So it usually legalized partnerships. So where this has to do with love affairs, this would have to do with marriage or some other kind of long-term committed partnership. And that can also indicate business partnerships and other significant partnerships that may potentially have some kind of legal weight to them or just be very, very important. And you've got Urias with the 8 of Cups. So this could be a secret relationship for somebody or secret new love, or just something that's going to come out of the blue and that's unexpected. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Sometimes when I have that coughing like that, I almost feel like something's trying to tell me to pay extra attention to it. So I don't know. For some of you, now again, if I look at what's straight across, you've got this Knight of Cups with the Sphinx, and like I said, there's this very similar energy between you and somebody else. So whether this somebody else is a new love, if you're already married, then I don't know. This just could be some other significant kind of relationship or partnership that is very emotionally, that brings about new feelings or is emotionally somehow putting you in a new place. But whatever it is, this just seems like something unexpected that's going to come out of the blue. So, yeah. So for some of you who are looking for love, this definitely seems to indicate a new relationship, maybe one with somebody you're not expecting, or maybe one where you feel like you need to keep quiet about it. Because sometimes Urias comes up when you don't want to say things. And again, you've got this energy of not talking here in the 1st house. But it does seem like there's some potential for something here. But it's definitely this hidden energy. If you are married or in a relationship, yeah, there may be some... I just feel like you or your partner may be getting some kind of unexpected news, but it feels like it would be good news. Ace of Cups, I think, is always good news. It always brings about something that brings us some kind of a pleasure or some kind of emotional satisfaction. So take that as it resonates for you. 8th house is Scorpio energy. And Scorpio has to do with transformations and also other people's money. So it's right opposite the second house, which is your own personal money, where we see that there's some obstacles. So here we've got Sirius with the Fool. Sirius is coming up for a lot of people. There's definitely a sense of taking the rough with the smooth. Endurance is really the watchword of Sirius. So it's kind of the way in which you navigate your way through a difficulty in the same way that you would with Anubis, which is over here in the third house. But you got it with the Fool. So there's definitely this idea that there is a new beginning. See, you've got this card, you've got the Ace of Cups here, and I'm just looking around. You've got Death up here, and you've also got the Star over here. Yeah, there's a lot of energy here, and in Judgment, there's a lot of energy of making decisions, ending something, and beginning something anew, and in a different way. This also has to do with thinking about things differently. So you are being challenged to go forward in a different way. Okay, so take that as it resonates, but the things that may have been holding you back mentally or even emotionally, I feel like now it is time to set yourself free. The Fool is definitely about being free and about being able to not only be strong enough to deal with something, but also be able to take a broader perspective on it. Okay, ninth house is Sagittarius energy, and this has to do with broadening your horizons. It's Jupiter energy, so it's higher education, going back to school for something, or maybe if you're already in school, or maybe you're a professor. Could be any of the above. It could have to do with religious institutions. Okay, so spiritual institutions, anything higher learning in terms of philosophy, religion, or the deeper questions of life, because this is deep thinking as opposed to the more superficial thinking down here in the third house, and also potentially long-term travel. So we have Death with Hathor. Okay, so we're looking at some kind of a change here. When Death comes up, we are transforming in some way. And in the house of deep thinking, this could be our thoughts. It could be a trip that we take that transforms us in some way. Or it could be something that we learn in school that transforms us. But, or there's a sense of something coming to an end. Maybe you're finishing something connected, that it's going to move you into a new place. And with Hathor, there's definitely this sense of planting the seeds for something new. Hathor is very strong feminine energy. So this could have to, again, specifically do with the female personage, but it could also just be expanding your knowledge of things related to the feminine, with having to do with, like I said, if you tend to be a very active person, although there's a lot of passivity in here, maybe you are learning more about, I don't know, there's more around Hathor, I feel, about security, comfort, the better qualities of femininity in the sense of not necessarily just nurturing, because nurturing's, it's not that Hathor isn't a nurturing card, but I tend to think of this more as feminine energy in terms of beauty, perhaps in terms of the energy of more domestic energy, I guess I could say. But also just even of somebody who is just really organized and has it together, especially if we are talking about a woman. And in this house, this could be a female person who's a professor, or it could be just somebody who in a religious institution who is just kind of very high up with something, or just has a special role. But with the Death card, this is somebody who potentially is going to bring about some kind of a change, or who's going to say or do something that may bring about change for you. And again, this could be connected to higher learning, and it could also be connected to a trip that you're taking somewhere. So again, not going to be the same for everybody, but take it as it resonates. Okay, 10th house is Capricorn energy, and Capricorn is about, this is energy of having to do usually with career as opposed to maybe just a job, and also your reputation, your fame, father energy. Now you've got the 5 of Pentacles with the twins. So 5 of Pentacles is somebody who feels left out in the cold. So professionally, maybe some of you feel like you're, maybe there's a fear of poverty here. Again, we see this down here. Maybe there's a worry about a job or a job situation, but you have it with the twins. So I do feel like there is somebody there to help. I mean, potentially this person could be part of the problem. I don't know, but it's not really coming up that way. I feel like the twins is coming up as somebody who either you can partner with or work with, or just support from others in terms of what it is that you're doing. And you're having it with this 5 of Pentacles. So I think there's a sense that you're feeling left out in the cold, but it's telling you, again, there's a whole lot in here about like you definitely have the chance to get your wishes here. I feel like there's good communications that are coming in. So when I see this, it just tells me you may be stuck in a pattern of worry about something, or worry about the lack of something. And, you know, again, if we're talking about a job situation, there may be some situation that is dubious or where you're unsure. But, you know, you got the Fool over here too. So you want to break free from that. This is saying, I think I've heard this card described as focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. And I think that's the best way to do it. You want to get out of a kind of poverty mentality or an outsider mentality. You're not, when I see this with the twins, this tells me you're not an outsider, okay? But you may think that you are. So, so take that as it resonates with this, but there may be some situation where, you know, you feel something's threatened. You may even feel that your finances are threatened. But again, you've got this Osiris card. And this may also just be this may be the second person who's going to help you. I don't know. But the Queen of Cups could be, again, as I said, another water sign, could be a woman, could just be somebody with a lot of compassion. So, male or female. Okay, so Aquarius energy is the 11th house. This is about your friends, your social networks, business relationships, and also about your goals, your hopes and wishes and aspirations. Okay, so we have Bast with the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, you may feel like you're not moving ahead right now, or you kind of have to stay where you are. And you've got 2 fours here. So again, I feel like this is something maybe where more information or a resolution or a move forward is going to happen in 4 days to 4 weeks, potentially 4 months too. But again, Bastet is about getting out there, being socially involved. Bast is a happiness card. I feel like there's a very social energy with Bast. It's about music, it's about dancing, it's about energy, about play. And I feel like with this, again, like just like I have this 5 of Pentacles here, I feel like you know, there's been this energy of like, oh, you know, I'm on the outside and I have to stay where I am and I'm lacking and I don't have things. And this is saying, no, you know, get out there. Get out into your network, be among people. Don't cut yourself off. Don't build this wall around yourself, okay? You have a lot to offer here. Don't build a wall. Don't let other people or even other friends talk you into building a wall. I mean, this is about you getting out there and having the courage to do that. Again, with the Fool, this may feel like a risk, but it's the thing you need to do. And yeah, indeed, in the 12th house, this is Pisces energy. This is what you don't show to people. This is maybe what you're afraid of, maybe not what you're not even conscious of yourself. And you have Fire with the Star. And the Star is, yeah, I mean, this is about hope. This is about healing and being vulnerable. You may be afraid of being vulnerable. You may have a lot of intense energy. You could have a lot of intense anger about something, or just very, very strong impassioned emotions that maybe you're keeping under the surface or not showing to people. There's this strong fire that's burning. And there's also this energy of healing with the Star, and also of possibility. So you may, I don't know, you may be very ramped up about something and maybe afraid to be vulnerable. That would explain why you're putting walls up. But you don't actually need to do that. This is saying that, you know, whatever, when fire shows up in these houses, then there's a purging going on. And I feel like there's just some situation where, yeah, where the past is being burned up in some way, or things that don't serve you anymore are being burned away, and you're just being left here with the pure potential of the Star. The Star is the card that follows the Tower in the tarot deck, and the Tower represents that collapse of everything that's false, and this is this new hope and new possibility. So actually, I think things are very, very good. I just think you may be you may have some fears of being vulnerable right now, even though you have all this watery energy, and I think you are generally an emotional and expressive person. There's some aspect of that maybe you're holding back, maybe the more, you know, fiery or angry or impassioned aspects where you feel like you don't want to pop off on somebody, which is fair enough, to be sure. But yeah, there's maybe a fear of vulnerability, and it's saying no need for that. Okay, overall, you've got Earth. So this definitely indicates security, financial security. So I do feel like if monies have been a worry, that this is a good omen that that will be resolved. Now you have the 10 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles. So yeah, you have had some kind of a situation here that has come to an end, okay, with the 10 of Swords. Maybe it's something that was shocking to you. Maybe it was something that was painful. But some aspect of your life is changing right now. You've got death, you've got judgment, and you've also got, you know, this energy, like this new energy, like the Ace of Cups. But I'm seeing you over here with, in terms of your friends and maybe your professional relationships and maybe even of your notion of expansion, that something has ended there. And so now you're feeling like you need to kind of shut down and not be vulnerable. But you have it with the Seven of Pentacles. Now, they refer to this as a card of failure. I don't see this as a card of failure. Seven of Pentacles can go either way. It means we look back on what we're doing and we say, was this worth the effort? The way that she's representing this card as somebody who's made all this effort and now is saying, oh, geez, I think this was all for naught. I don't take this card this way. There's another version of this card that calls it the Patience card. So it's saying you have to wait and see. Wait until you see where things are going. You know, how your harvest is going to manifest. I mean, some things may have come to an end, but that doesn't mean everything's over. You still want to look over the harvest and see what, you know, and with Earth, this is the suggestion that things are definitely still growing here. So I feel like also Earth may be telling you to get your feet on the ground. There's a lot of water energy here. There's definitely some good news coming in. For some of you, there could be new love. But yeah, some things are coming to an end, but there's also, like, right next to death is the Fool. So there's this idea of something ending and something beginning. So I wouldn't cut yourself off right now, Cancer, and I wouldn't worry that you are somehow, I don't know, that somehow you're not supported or that you're not going to have the stability that you need. There definitely seems to be good stuff coming in for you, particularly in terms of career and potentially relationship. So let's just see what your overall rune is from the Norse runes for Cancer for January 2015. Okay, so your rune is Nauthiz. And Nauthiz is the rune of Saturn. So yeah, I feel like you've been feeling some restrictions or limitations here. But this is indicating that all of the limitations that we have are meant to kind of, it's almost like being in a maze. It's like it's shifting our path to the right direction forward and keeping us away from the paths that are not going to take us down the right road. And also, Nauthiz often is the rune, the phrase I always associate with this rune is don't take the world personally. I feel like, you know, that the difficulties and the setbacks that you've had recently are for a good reason, okay? You're being limited for, you know, for a good reason, because you are somehow being made to grow in the right direction rather than an erroneous one. So, yeah, so there's definitely this sense of limitation, but from everything I'm seeing here, there's some great news here about new beginnings, getting your wishes, and getting out of things. So I just think it's just going to be a matter of time. And again, I think for some of you, I saw this 9 that showed up here in particular. I'm trying to see if there's any other numbers that I think are important and relevant here. Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of cup energy, and you've got a lot of ending and beginning cards. So I don't know. I just feel like you are in a time of transit. And so therefore, you know, that right now there may be some things that where you feel like an outsider, or feel like you have to like close yourself down and withdraw. Maybe certain situations where you feel you need to keep things to yourself right now. But that will not be the case for long or forever, certainly. So just, as they say, keep the faith and stay the course. Thanks so much for watching, Cancer. I hope you have had a wonderful new year, and we'll catch up with you again in the next reading.